All right, welcome back. We're going to talk about the Knicks' recent road trip. They're playing the Bulls tonight. The Bulls have been one of the worst teams in regards to defense. Only the Nets are probably worse. Um, they have a young team just like the Knicks do. It's been quite surprising at how bad they've been. But anyway, let's actually review the previous road trip. As you can see, they won that first game thinking, was it the first game? Yeah, it was the first game. They won that first game against the Warriors. Obviously, without Clay, there's no championship aspirations there. And they were able to, to play Curry really well. And it seemed like the trip was going to go well. Tyrese Halliburton in this second game showed the Knicks what they were missing by not drafting him instead of drafting Toppin. Again, I don't go by first year comparisons when it comes to rookies. It usually takes about 3 years to figure things out. Tyrese is the one that I wanted, but I'm not the general manager of the Knicks. But to be fair, I also wanted Michael Porter Jr. over Kevin Knox, but again, I'm not the GM. I would have been wrong with Quickly because I did not want Quickly, and he's done, top five out of the draft. It seems like they have another Mitchell Robinson, another steal in the draft, so that's actually pretty exciting. When it comes to the game, Tyrese just dominated as he did. I obviously don't think that Julius was considered anything other than trade bait when the season started. So they had to consider getting the best player available. In their minds, it was Toppin. Um, he's shown a lot of grit. He shot the three well. He's played well. So I mean, we'll see who has a better career. The Portland Trailblazer game was a gritty game. Dame Lillard did what he does. Dame time played really really well. Just shot the lights out, and it was really difficult for the Knicks to get out of that bind. The Knicks played well in Utah, as you know they beat them previously, and Utah was on an 11-game winning streak when they faced them. Conley basically won that game for them in the second half because Mitchell was garbage, just for that game. I mean, he's an all-star. Everybody's gonna have an off day. I don't want him, you know, coming to beat me up. But Conley definitely won that game. Gobert played well, and the Knicks did not look well. The Cavaliers was just a nice blowout, but it was more of a second half blowout. And the Knicks have played the Cavs as well as anybody because the Cavs have been quite a surprise. The Cavs are what I think people thought the Bulls were going to be this year, a young upstart team that's going to get more wins, and so they did. That was their second or third, I think, and they also destroyed them in the preseason. As far as the last game, the Clippers, you know, decidedly so. I just saw the power rankings on NBA.com, and it shows that the Clippers are ranked ahead of the Lakers, which is, as of recently, I just think the Lakers are bored. I still don't think that the Clippers, this is a show me sport. And the Clippers have shown time and time again that they choke. But again, Kawhi is the master of disguise, the claw. He has brought lesser teams, as we watch him with his highlight, do what he does. And, they're going to give the Lakers, the biggest problem, I think, in the West. Um, but again, they've not shown that they've been able to win in the playoffs. So it should be an interesting game. They dominate the Knicks as they should. The Knicks are, on the bottom half of the East, the weaker conference, so they're not expected to do much. But anyway, I read an article that, and obviously saw that Knox has not been playing as much, and he was his first DNP coach's decision the last game. Again, Knox, and I probably talked about it on this channel before, but Knox has a very low motor. He has such great tools, though. I do think, unfortunately, that he's not going to be able to do well in New York. New York is not for everybody. He has really bad body language. Like he shrugs, puts his head down. Looks like he gets his feelings hurt pretty easy, pretty soft. I've not seen him even, get a tech. I don't even think he's gotten a tech in the NBA. So the bright lights are not for him. I would love to see him on a Denver team, on a Golden State team somewhere in the West where he can kind of get lost and just run down the court and use his long strides to finish in transition and dunk and hit those corner threes. I think maybe even a pop Um, a pop system for whatever reason. The grittiness, the slow pace of the Eastern Conference and Thibodeau and the Knicks especially. They're number one in defense. They have the worst offense. I mean, it's going to be a slow grind out game with pace, and I don't think that fits Knox really well here. Um, Toppin, for that matter, although he's played well, I think Toppin would do better in a fast paced system. Barrett plays really well. He's developing a half court game. So, I do think that there's going to be some moves. I do think that obviously Dennis Smith Jr. going to the bubble, the G League bubble, I think is going to be wonders for him. Um, Frank Ntilikina, I would have, thought that he would have gone to the bubble. He has not played, but he doesn't deserve to play. I mean, I'm a big fan of Frank. I met him. Um, he's a real quiet, nice guy. He's a good defender. Um, he just has never been able to find his niche. He's never been able to stay healthy. Um, like, does he score? Does he pass? He just seems like he's confused at what to do. I would rather him shoot as much as quickly because he's that efficient than to pass. And I don't think he gets that. He just is still stuck in that mindset of the team basketball. And here in the NBA, it's Darwinian. Well, that was a good dunk by Kawhi. It's Darwinian in nature. It's the strongest survive. If you remember that scene with Heath Ledger and the Joker, and he goes, "We're having tryouts," and he breaks them up stick in half, and says that we have one spot. I mean, that's essentially what it is. It's kill or be killed, and Frank is just too nice for his own good. It would be nice to see him on, funny enough, on a championship team where he doesn't need a lot of shots. He can hit an open three. He can defend. Um, it would be nice to see him even on the Lakers, anywhere that's of championship. The Jazz with Gobert would be a good place for him. Dennis Smith's career, I don't see it as ever going to improve. He cannot shoot. His turnovers, his decision making is awful. He cannot defend. He's good at getting in the passing lane, at stealing the ball. He's good at dunking. I mean, but everybody in the NBA for the most part can dunk, so it's nothing big on that end. So Dennis Smith will be traded or released. I think before the end of this year. Um, I would like us to see us trade Alec Burks and Reggie Bullock just to get the younger guys some more time. I know Tibbs doesn't like playing; he likes veterans, and I get that. Um, but I don't know. We'll see how it goes. As far as the game tonight with the Bulls, um, Zach Levine, I believe, will get traded. That ship is sinking really fast, and I don't think there's any point in them having him there. I heard the Knicks were suitors and some other teams. It would take multiple draft picks. If the Knicks could find out a way to just do like maybe like 2 seconds and a first that's not in 2021 in the double draft, I'd be amiable to that. I think he's a good scorer. I think him instead of Bullock there, and he's relatively young. I think he's about 25, 26. I think he fits in the timeline. Having him there would be, I think for me, a clinch into the eighth seed. I don't know if that's that important, but in any case, it's looking like Dallas is having some chemistry issues. Um, they may need to move on from KP. So that draft pick that the Knicks have unprotected in 2021 is looking better and better. And if the Knicks are able to get a top 10 pick with that draft pick, I think it's a push on that trade because KP is a great talent. He is injury prone as Phil Jackson predicted because of his height and his frame. Um, so it's not looking like he should be a number two on a team. I think he's better suited as a number three, and in very limited minutes. No back to backs, no 4 and 5 nights. I think they have to make sure that they're very cautious with him, and when you do that, it kind of limits rhythm and getting into that. Doncic is $100 million a year player. If there was no salary cap, he's that good. Um, so you know, I think they need to see about getting a star to go with Doncic and push KP to the third. If they have to trade everybody else to get a disgruntled star, I think they go after it. I don't know who's available other than Bradley Beal. Dallas certainly cannot get Bradley Beal at this point. Um, Bradley Beal should be asking for a trade. I mean, I don't know why he wants to suffer over there. It would be nice to see him in a championship situation. But we'll see how it goes. And, we'll see how the game goes tonight. I do think, as I said, that the Knicks should be able to win this game. But we never know. So we'll see how it goes. All right, I'm going to try to do more of these videos. Maybe get into movies and politics. And I don't know. See what happens. We'll see how it goes. All right. Peace, love, and shovel with your knees. Make sure you don't shovel with your back with all the snow outside. All right. Later, guys.